Sunny TV Unfiltered. Another podcast. 2 more points dropped. Another lead given away. Nothing's changed. I get a lot more hate on AFTV. It's all right for Xhaka not to get any hate, but I could get hate. So I don't know why. I don't know how it works out somehow. Because some people, whatever you do, if you do a fan cam, never say a bad word about a player. You're going to get hate because there's too many fanboys out there, and they can't see the whole picture.
Does that stop you talking, though, Sonny, giving your opinion? No, that's what it's all about.
Do you know what? That's why I call my channel Unfiltered, bruv, because I say what I want, and everyone on the podcast is also entitled to say what they want, and they don't have to agree with me. That's the beauty of it,
Yeah.
Totally. Let me introduce everyone on the podcast. Thanks to everyone who joined in the comments. Also, please, can you all hit the like button as well and press subscribe. We've got to 2,000 subscribers within 2 months. It's brilliant. So
the channel's growing.
Channel's growing. Channel's growing quicker than my beard grows, and that grows quick. I'm telling you. Right. First we've got Irfan with us. Is all the way from Canada. We've got a very strong contingent in Canada.
Nice.
Oh, exactly. Sorry, he done his university in Canada, and now he's in South Africa.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody.
We've got the kid.
Yeah, another York alum. Let's get it.
we got Baz 450.
Yes, how you doing, man?
We got Sai.
Good evening.
And we got a very special guest with us tonight. He's a right proper gooner. Apollo 101. Apollo, shout out your channel, bruv.
Yeah, channel is 101 on Arsenal, and that's on YouTube. I've only been doing it about a year. It took me about a year to get to 100 subscribers, and over the summer I just flew over to about 1,200 subscribers. So, like you, Sonny, man, I'm just flying right now. The channel's really taking off.
Bro, if you talk shit on AFTV, you get lots of subscribers.
I was thinking that I've done AFTV, and I was thinking about going there, but going back on there to try and big up the channel. But I don't need it, mate. I'm good, man.
You can't big up the channel on there anyway. I've never mentioned my channel on there. I'm just me. If people want to find you, they find you.
People find the real ones. Don't worry, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so guys, that's 101 on Arsenal. Yeah, like and subscribe, man, and support the channel.
101 on Arsenal. I've subscribed. And I hope Apollo, you subscribe back, bruv.
Yeah, man, I'm on there, man. I support all them gunners because I know how hard it is to build a channel, man. It's hard work. So, yeah, I'm building it, man. Building it. Yeah. Back your team, man, and back your fans.
True.
Well,
amen to that.
Getting on to the game. Si, let's start with you, bruv.
Yeah, man.
What's your take on the game? The take on the team selection? The substitutions, our style of play. Unai Emery. My comments.
It's tricky because I'm like the rest of us. I'm a couch manager. I ain't never, I've worked in football for a long time, but never as a manager. But I text people before the game saying, "Guys playing for a draw. Look at that lineup. Defensive. It's totally defensive. We've got the players now in the positions. Everybody's fit. He's got no excuses." And I just had to look at it, and although I've not got any expertise in it, you go, can you see what he's trying to do here? Wolves aren't the best team in the world. Why are you trying to get a draw at home against them? We should have been going all out today, and we weren't. We went for a draw, and we got it, and he was happy with it. Give up with the guy. Give up with him totally. I've got no explanation behind anything he did. Seen his comments after the game, talking about, we bossed them. I didn't see that. He was saying we chased the second goal. We didn't have a shot on target after the 32nd minute. I just don't see anything he sees. Don't see it at all. He's got to go for me. I'm tired of him. Totally tired of him.
And basically, we're playing at home. It doesn't make any difference. We're playing at home or away. We're shit on both.
He's setting up like you'd expect Wolves to set up against us. Just try and get there, frustrate them, come away with a point. It's as good as a victory, and that's how we're playing at home. Embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I wasn't a fan of Wenger at the end. I'd never say anything bad against the guy. I loved him. Owe him loads of happy times in my life. But, at least he tried. At least he went for it. Even if we were getting beat 6-0, you could see we were trying it for something. Yeah. With this guy, it's just stale, man. The guy's in the weeds and he ain't getting out of him. Not for me, anyway. Seriously.
Apollo, what's your take? What's your take on things that every Arsenal member, from not just from today, from there seems to be a lot of lack of leadership and direction in the club as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone on record to say the last captain that we had was Arteta, and that was the last real captain that actually made some changes. Remember, it was Arteta that turned around to the team and asked them about the way that they were playing, and they went up to, this was under Wenger, they went up to Manchester City, and he's the one that changed the tactics, not Wenger. And they went in to the Etihad and got a 2-0 win. So for me, he was the last best manager that we've had, a guy who can drive results and lead like a leader. And we haven't had that since. And to be honest with you, I've been fine with all the changes. I ain't had no problem with that. Emery for me was always hit and miss, because he was like Mourinho. Mourinho was brought into Man United for them to win the title, and they didn't do it. He failed. Emery was brought to PSG for them to win the Champions League. Arsenal fans are saying, yeah, but he won the treble and he weren't brought there to win the treble or domestic. He was brought there to win the Champions League, and he failed. So for me, Emery's last chance at a top job is Arsenal, and he's failing at every level, mate. I mean, the stats are there. The fact that he has not improved on Wenger's worst season. Wenger was here 22 years, and in Wenger's worst season, Emery's statistics doesn't even match up to that. It's shocking, and I'm trying my hardest not to go Emery out, because for me, we ain't even got halfway through the season, let alone the full season. So I want to judge him at the end of the season. I want to see what he can do at the end of the season. But my only problem with that is, if we don't make the top 4, we've wasted the opportunity. If we know it's wrong now, if you change it, someone could go in there, fix the defense, fix the shape, get a formation that gets the best out of our players, and then we can make top 4. So I'm still on the fence with him out now, Sonny. I'm still on the fence with it.
But how can you be on the fence, bruv? Seriously. What, that's one of the reasons why I wanted you on, Apollo, right? Because you're a very positive guy, right?
Yeah.
I can't see what you're sitting on the fence about, bruv. What is it you expect to change?
Well, for me, it's about, we're 11 games into the league, and we've talked about his best. I mean, today was supposed to be his best team, because he actually had Turney in there. He actually had Xhaka off the first 11, which a lot of people have wanted. But he still hasn't got Bellerin back. Pepe wasn't into the team today. So for me, he still hasn't got his best 11, but that's no excuse. You, as a manager...
Apollo, seriously, bro. On this channel, let me give you a baptism of fire on this channel. We argue.
Yeah,
we argue.
I've watched all your stuff. I know, mate. I've watched all your stuff.
We've got love, but we argue. But what I was going to say, bruv, is which manager has always got their best 11 out?
I agree, and that's the reason why I was just saying to you, I don't think that that's an excuse. I think that he's shown an inability to fix the defense from day one. It still ain't fixed. Yeah. He's shown he has no clue what he's doing with his formation. What formation was going on today? Nobody had a clue. It looked like it was 4-4-2.
Well, I've got Lucas Torreira in the chat tonight, so he's not sitting at home crying. He's actually in the chat tonight. We're going to come on to Lucas Torreira a bit later, and I'm going to explain my comment. And one person who can't stand Lucas Torreira, it's not me, by the way, it's Kenny Kenny.
Yeah. Oh yes, I know Kenny don't like him at all, man.
Apollo, you're saying you're not Emery out, right? I get you don't want to be in that like category and say you're Emery out, but if he was gone tomorrow, you wouldn't bat an eye, right? You'd be okay with it.
I wouldn't, because as I said before, the excuse to change him now is that you've lost all faith in him, and that someone could come in and set them up accordingly, where they can manage their lines, the defense is fixed, and that will stop leaking goals. And that would solve half the problems on this team right now. So I'm not totally against him leaving.
Big up yourself, Pilot. By the way, big up yourself, Pilot Vince.
My thing about Emery is, I feel like it's gotten to a point where he settles for less than what we usually. He settles for less. He's okay with the D. He's not. Mate, he doesn't want W's consistently.
Dude, he's the Spanish Tony Pulis, mate. Let's have it right.
He loves the D.
And if he is, mate, then he has to go. It's as simple as that. You can't try and paint it over. I mean, the Xhaka situation, he has lost control of that. He couldn't get the player to apologize, so the club made a statement, and the statement didn't even have an apology in it. He's lost control, mate, from day one. And
on top of that, look at the run. Look at the run we just had. Man United, Bournemouth.
The honest play. I did see what DC put in the interview, right? But if that trick is actually watching tonight, right? I'm going to AFTV FC against DTFC next Wednesday, and let's see what he puts on his comments to my face. Yeah. Right.
Excellent. No, today, guys. Today they got it all wrong. Today, the players looked like they didn't even know what the formation was, and the fact that anyone who's ever watched Wolves play, they use their flanks. So to go into that game with the diamond, which makes us more narrow, we were basically with our tactics saying to Wolves, "Come and get us." Totally now, any good manager would know that you don't play the diamond against Wolves. You'll get eaten alive. And what happened in the first 15 minutes? I'm just finished. Why? We were lambs to the slaughters, and that's all because of the manager. And
Springer, big up yourself, Springer, as well.
Can I just say one quick one, though? You imagine today if we'd have played Monreal or Kolasinac at left back and Ainsley Maitland-Niles at right back, it'd have been 5-0.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Our wing backs were our best players today by a country mile for me, by an absolute mile.
What about Aubameyang helping out on that side?
Everyone on the podcast, just for the new people who are not been on here, if you've got something to say, jump in, because don't wait for me to call you in, because the kid likes to talk.
Don't we all?
This is a debate. Everyone can talk.
Yeah. No, I was kind of waiting for my turn to kind of chime in, but I'm just gonna take kind of what I've heard so far and kind of put my thoughts to it. Firstly, Simon, I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I do disagree. I think today was probably the least defensive starting 11 that we've had. I think having Torreira, having Guendouzi, having Ozil, and Ceballos all starting in the midfield, I thought that was very attacking considering what we've been playing so far. My only concern...
I meant the formation, not the personnel on the pitch, bro.
But I think in terms of formation, I think that was kind of the only formation that would allow us to play all those players together on the pitch. I think that in terms of Pepe not starting, that was pretty alarming. Tierney starting was a great positive, and I think he had a phenomenal game. I think, as we just said right now, if Kolasinac started that game, he would have been roasted by Adama Traore, like completely roasted. And I definitely think that we could have conceded a lot more goals. I think Chambers is really inexperienced. He's not a right back, and so you can't really hold it against him. And I think he kind of held his own tonight. But I think something that might be unpopular is that Aubameyang. What was he doing in the second half? Really, I mean, after that first goal. Nothing. He absolutely did nothing tonight.
On the right flank.
Just want to say, Matt Howes, welcome to the channel, bruv. I'll unblock your account, but I just need to figure out how to do it because I don't know how to do it. But to be honest with you, bruv, just to say that you want to come to the Emirates and fight me is not really on. But
that's pretty mature.
I appreciate you watching, and you're also welcome to come on a podcast as well. So I'll unblock you on the email as well. But like I said, bruv, there needs to be an element of respect as well,
Yeah, 100%.
So I wanted to know what do you guys think of the substitutions? I think putting on Saka, by the way, and I kind of wanted to hear your guys' opinion of this as well. He got bullied, man. He got seriously bullied. I mean, he's a good player and he has a lot of talent, but putting him in this game it was too physical for him. He was getting bullied off the pitch. I think not putting on Pepe was a serious mistake, especially when it was 1-1. I was like, please, Emery, put him on. Like, we need to scare them. We need to have more attacking options. And then, can I just say one? Can I just cut you? Yeah, for sure.
Mondiu, sorry, bro. I'm losing track of people on email, and I'm losing track of people on Twitter. It makes my life a lot easier if everyone just subscribes to Twitter and also follows me on now. But if you have sent me an email, can you please send me another one, because I get all the comments go into my onto my email, so I can't find people. That's the problem that I'm having.
Yeah, the last thing I was going to say is also that last substitution, taking off Tierney for Kolasinac in the last 3 minutes. Like, come on, what is that going to do in terms of the game, really? I mean, put on an attacking player instead of putting on Kolasinac. I understand that perhaps, he was scared that Traore was potentially going to score at the end, considering his pace and how tired we were. But I think, in my opinion, that was a lame, that was a Dracula substitution.
I think when you looked at what Tierney was doing, Tierney was getting run ragged by Toure and his legs. Remember, he's only
I
had about
disagree.
No, I disagree as
Totally
well.
disagree.
I
Yeah, man.
disagree as well.
he's only had about 4 90-minute games, and the tempo of this game was nothing like what he's seen in the Europa Cup or any of the games that Tierney was playing. And to me, he just looked gassed. He looked totally gassed.
To me, it looked like they brought in Saka to help defend on that flank, right? So I understand that substitution.
But you could have brought in Pepe, he would have done the same thing, honestly. I mean, or put
But that's
Aubameyang on that wing, he would have done the same thing.
That's the thing. We didn't need somebody to help defending because we're trying to get a win, not a draw.
Exactly.
And for me, it's you've got a £72 million guy on the bench there that you bought to lean on in important moments, and he's throwing a 17-year-old on instead. He's up the wall for me. Crackers. It's like needing a goal in a Champions League final and putting Eddie Nketiah on instead of Aubameyang. It's crazy. Makes no sense.
Simon, I know you agree with me on this, but honestly, Apollo, I think Tierney really held his own today. I was really impressed, considering.
he did.
I honestly think that was the best performance from a left back since Ashley Cole was there. I honestly do tonight. I was
going to say that as well. I mean, we watch every single game. I know all of us do, and we're super passionate. And we've been seeing Kolasinac. I mean, in terms of defending, he doesn't know how to defend, and when he's attacking, he just kind of crosses the ball, hoping for something to happen magically. And Tierney really held his own tonight. So
can I just say one thing? Sorry, just related to his comment, bruv. As much as I dislike Wenger towards the end, Emery is no way in Wenger's class ever, even at his worst period. I'm sorry, but Emery's done here, mate.
I agree. I gave Tierney 6 out of 10. The one thing that surprised me with Tierney today was I thought he was quicker than what he was. When I've watched him in other games, to me he looked really quick. But today there was 2 or 3 times where he just got burnt. And, And if you watch what Chambers has been doing on the right side, when Chambers played under Wenger and he played at right back, he was getting roasted. And what Chambers does now is he plays the angles. So he plays off. He gives himself 5 yards and say, if anybody makes a dart at him, his first step is what makes him gain back on an attacker.
Yeah.
And that's what Tierney was. And Tierney naturally has that ability to man mark a player, regardless if he's faster than him. And that's what I liked about Tierney today. Tierney's going to be, trust me, he's going to be a lock, man. This guy's going to be the new dominant force at left back for Arsenal.
I agree.
Everyone in the comments as well. Just favour, look. Let Matt Howes be. Just let him do his thing. He can come on the channel. He can prove himself. Let's see if he knows it. Let him make his points. I don't see all the comments that I put up on the screen. I don't see every comment what comes up, by the way. So I'm not following it. But don't fight amongst yourselves. We're all Sunny Steve Unfiltered at the end of the day. Yeah.
There was a comment there by Adam talking about we conceded a goal the moment Torreira came off. I don't think we could. Torreira coming off led to us conceding that goal because Torreira was playing higher up the pitch regardless. He wasn't playing on that side of the pitch where we conceded the goal.
We had Ozil at DM and Torreira at centre attacking mid, didn't we?
Yeah. So
Adam Straps, the more times DC comments about me, the more relevant he makes me. So it's all good, bruv.
And Simon, you know what, guys? I think Emery might have done that because we all know that Ozil can't run and he's not going to do the defending. So maybe he was thinking, have Ozil sit back so he doesn't really have to do that running and let Torreira go forward. But at times, Torreira was playing as striker. And we've seen that in the last couple of games, which is really alarming considering that last season he played really well. And it's not like it's a Wenger signing. It's Emery who signed him as a defensive midfielder. So it's kind of weird to see that he's being, 1, frozen out of the team, and 2, when he's playing, we're just like, where the hell is this Uruguayan playing? Is he playing striker? Is he playing left wing, right wing? It's alarming.
Oh my God, you've just mentioned this exact same thing that I mentioned at my halftime video today when I was doing my vlog. It is baffling to me why last year, if you look at the games at home at the Emirates we had against Spurs and Liverpool, who dominated that game? It was Torreira from the defensive midfielder position. So what you've done is 2 things this season.
It was actually Torreira and Xhaka.
Well,
You can't say that.
I'm not a fan, bro.
Oh,
Nah,
man,
we
I don't get
I just
the
want
concept.
Apollo. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna cut in. Baz, are you part of this channel or not? Are you going to speak?
No, I was just waiting for people.
Just before you do, I just want to say one thing, right? Before I forget, Granit Xhaka today, right? Everyone says Granit Xhaka slows the play down, and this, that, and the other. Granit Xhaka wasn't there today, and that play was still slow. It is not Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka is not good enough for Arsenal. Don't get me wrong. He's not good enough for Arsenal, and I don't want him at Arsenal. After what he's done, I don't want him to wear an Arsenal shirt again, right? But having said that, it's Emery's style of play. I mean, if you saw Wolves were doing 2-3 passes, there's people running off the ball, there's people making runs. Arsenal were like statues, mate. I said we're playing snooker. You know, that's what we was doing. Baz, go on, come in, bruv.
The problem is, basically, what I want to know is why the hell was Ozil dropping into the defensive midfield area, yeah? We took off Lacazette, what, 55th minute, 60th minute? Yeah? The ball wasn't sticking. We were just hoofing balls in, pumping balls in to Aubameyang, yeah? The ball doesn't stick with Aubameyang, right? Martinelli, another thing. We're pumping balls into Martinelli, man. Like, the thing about it is there's... for me, this manager, I said it last time I came on this podcast, this manager's finished because there's no style of play. When there's no style of play, there's no patterns of play, because the whole point is you need players to fucking play off each other. The only players that know how to play with each other is Aubameyang and Lacazette, but who's going to feed them, You've got a diamond, Oh, the diamond for me today, That when I saw four midfielders, right, I knew it was over. Yeah, you got
same as me.
Oh,
exactly the same.
You got two Sub-Bice is the most slowest midfielder I've ever saw in my life. He's 23. The guy can. The only thing he does is spin. Yeah. What's the point? And then he puts him on the left. The manager, for me, he needs to go. For me,
he's so bad.
Can I just address this Torreira issue before and let me explain myself? Yeah. All the Torreira lovers, I'm one of them, by the way. I love every Arsenal footballer, but I'm not deluded either. I'm not a fanboy, and that's the first thing I said,
Okay.
Torreira for half a season last season, he was decent. He was a very good player. After Christmas, he went to Lapland. You know, no one saw him again. So please, can someone tell me what Torreira done from Christmas onwards, apart from score a goal against Tottenham, right? You know, if that's all it takes, score a goal against Tottenham and then you're a legend. It's only Tottenham, right? Can someone tell me what this great, fantastic player is? And before everyone jumps in the comments and say, well, he's a great CDM for Uruguay. Uruguay are a team of defensive footballers who all press. Arsenal are not that team. Arsenal needs some physical presence in there. And I don't mean a little Jack Russell running around. I mean some proper physical presence who actually plays the ball forward and who can pick out pass. And someone like the player for Spurs has just bought. Compare the two.
Pogba. As much as people can't stand him, that's the exact type of player we need.
And Ndombele as well. Not Ndombele. Who was Spurs ball? What's his name?
Ndombele.
Ndombele, as well. Compare Ndombele to Torreira. Sorry, you can't compare them.
No, so Sonny, I think in regards to that point, and I'm also I'm curious to hear what you guys on the panel also have to say about this. I think what we see in Torreira is he's a much better player than Xhaka. I think we fear Xhaka being in the starting lineup.
Xhaka's got better passing range.
You know what?
Yes.
I don't know. But
it might take him half an hour to do it, but he's got better passing range. Everyone just
Yeah, everyone went silent when you said Xhaka's got a passing range.
That's it. Everyone's gone flat out. That's enough of that shit. I'm gone.
Xhaka was known for that. I did a video called Xhaka Deal or No Deal. And what it did is it looked at all the statistics this season and it parried Xhaka up against all our other midfielders. And when you looked at it, he was creating less. His passing accuracy was less.
DT's boyfriend, Johnny. I'm glad you joined the podcast, bro. I'm glad you're watching, and you're also welcome to your opinion as well. But I hope you snuggle up tonight. Play all these videos. Get your baby oil out and your tissues, and I hope you're very happy tonight.
For some reason, I got kicked out there. I have no idea why, but
Me
I was
too.
saying
I
in
don't know
terms
how
of
it's going on.
It's because I said Jack had a bit of passing range.
yeah, exactly. That's why the internet was like, hell no, hell no.
But
Honestly,
the thing
Sonny,
is-
I don't know how you think that. I think Xhaka is. I mean, the passing that he does, I think as an amateur football or soccer player, that's average stuff. You should be able to do that if you're playing at this level. So when people say that Xhaka brings this passing to the team, for me, that I mean, it's kind of that's baffling to me because
I
if you're
agree. I
a
agree.
professional soccer player or football player, that's something that you should be doing anyways, regardless
I
of what
agree.
position you're playing.
There's only one person that is breaking defenses with his passing in this team, and that's David Luiz.
David Luiz, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Listen, I got a shout. I say, Emery is always Emery. When he first came, we always used to talk about how he changes it up. He changes up his formations. He changes up a lot of things. One thing he hasn't done this season is go to a back three. And what have we been saying ever since we bought David Luiz? David Luiz is best in a back three. So why don't we try something different? Because we've already tried a diamond midfield, that doesn't work. We've tried a 4-4-2, that doesn't work. We've tried other formations, it hasn't worked. So what are we going to do now? We change it to a back three, bring in Holding, and even if you want to bring in Kolasinac, at least Kolasinac is not as big of a liability in a back three as he would be in a back four. So
But
I
when you
think maybe go to a back three.
But when you
I've
have
said something. Sorry, man. Sorry, fine. Go for it, buddy.
No, I was just gonna say, when you have Tierney, you don't even have to play Kolasinac, so that's irrelevant because he's never gonna make the starting 11 just because Tierney is so much better than him. But I do agree with you that perhaps we should try a back three. But with our defensive, shape and stuff, it looks like they've never learned how to play, defense in their life. So it's yeah.
Do you know what? I likened Arsenal today to having a Ferrari, but the gearbox was broken, yeah, and we've only got one gear, yeah. I've elaborated. I've since been thinking about it in the car. We have actually got a Ferrari, right, as a club, but we've got the manager at Quick Fit. So when we go to pit stops, they got a clue. That's what Emery is. He ain't got a clue.
The thing is about, if you look at Chelsea, yeah, they whitewash teams in the first 20, 30 minutes, yeah? Why don't we whitewash teams in the first 20, 30 minutes?
We don't turn up till 15 minutes in.
Oh, look, Newcastle went to West Ham. Newcastle went to West Ham today, yeah? I think they were 3-0 up or 2-0 up or something like that. They got pegged back in the end, yeah? It ended 3-2. That's what we need to do, yeah? And then that's the only way I'll see us winning games nowadays,
but the
yeah?
difference between
Straight
those
car crash football, that's what I want. Car crash football, fuck it. All guns blazing, just go for it.
Let's say it's time for Mourinho.
Agreed.
No.
Hell will freeze over. Hell will freeze over before I accept Jose Mourinho as manager of Arsenal. I'm sorry.
Listen, I could name 3 guys better than Mourinho that we could stop.
I said the other day, just seeing that guy in a suit with the Arsenal crest on it would boil my piss massively.
Yeah.
I could not stomach it. And I said to somebody the other day, like, he's a good manager. Whether you argue he's elite or not still is debatable to a lot of people. That's, your own opinion.
He's a cancer.
But one thing is for me is, why go and get another manager or another player in any aspect that polarizes the fan base?
Yeah.
Go and get somebody we can all universally get behind. Why would you go for somebody that instantly 50% of us are going to go, I will not watch us anymore until he's gone? Yeah. We don't need that anymore. We've got to get away from this.
I'll guarantee you, if Emery stays, if Torreira won't be at Arsenal next season, I'll guarantee you that.
And I'd feel the exact same way, mate. That's the first thing I thought when he came off tonight, was he won't be here next year.
He won't be leave as well, because he wants to play in the Champions League. Aubameyang would be 31 next year,
and Lacazette as well.
Yeah, how could you have one of the best strikers in the world that doesn't even play in the Champions League? That's not on.
But this is why I said I had to be against Emery coming in, like a stopgap manager, because we haven't got players at the age to have a stopgap manager. We've got players, like looking at last year, Ozil, Mkhitaryan, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Kolasinac, not Kolasinac, Monreal. All those guys are getting to an age where we've got 1 year, maybe 2, to maximise the performance, and that is it. We've got to start again.
It's a headache, man.
Fresh Prince has just made a super chat. Fresh Prince, I appreciate that, bruv. It says, really does a manager who follows a legend succeeds. Time for change to save the season. Yeah, it had to.
Agreed.
Totally
And
agree.
I
And
appreciate
guys,
love as well, bro. Thank you.
just a quick one, and in terms of, I know we all hate Mourinho because of the things that he's done to Wenger and kind of his character and personality. But if we didn't have a choice, wouldn't you be willing to take in a serial winner, a proven winner who might park the bus, but will make us better defensively, will not take shit from players, will call them out when they're not performing, and kind of see us at least improve over the next 2 seasons? Honestly, I think Mourinho would do a better job than Emery is at the moment, and I'm so desperate that I'd take him.
I can
I'm
tell
not-
you
I'm
three
not saying-
managers right now. that
Never
we
do
could
anything out of
probably-
desperation.
Yeah, we could probably get.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we don't have a choice. I mean, if there's no one else available,
Allegri's
then...
available. Don't forget that.
You think we can pay him? You think we can afford him?
Guys,
You think
guys,
Allegri would
there's
want more than Mourinho?
594 people watching. Guys, there's 694 people watching, and we've only got 43 likes, bro. What's happening?
Smash that
Drive the
like
like
button.
button. Smash the like button. Come on.
Press the dislike button. No, if you don't like it, press the dislike button because it also drives the channel.
Hit that bell.
Pulling a Lee Gunner over there, Sonny. I hear you.
Yeah,
But no, it's a good.
But the geezers emigrated to Spain, so do say right.
It's a good chat one of me and the boys had before, which was how many times do clubs get a good manager mid-season?
Yeah.
Doesn't happen very often. So I think as much as we want Emery gone universally, the only option for me is Freddie for a bit. Or just let the guys go out and make it up themselves, because it can't be worse for me. Can't be worse.
Do you know what, Si?
Do what RB Leipzig did.
Si, excellent point you just made. Do you know what? I was thinking the same thing in the car on the way home. If you just let these group of players just run on the football pitch and play their game, they'll be so much better than they are now.
Yeah.
I think
Look
that
at what
was
RB
working
Leipzig
short
did.
term. I think that
Look at
was
what RB Leipzig
because if you look at Man United, that's what they've done with Solskjaer. So at the end of last season, they were like, "Yeah, Solskjaer, back him." Now this season, they're like, "He ain't good enough." So Fred would be a stopgap. I totally agree. If you get rid of him now, Fred knows all them under 21 players. He knows the team. He knows the structure. He worked great alongside Edu. And the most important thing that Robin van Persie was talking about last week is Freddie Ljungberg's message would be clear among the players. Right now, there's this problem where things are getting lost in translation with Emery, because he'll say things and then the
Broken
players will be like, right, what was he talking about? What did he mean?
Apollo. Freddie, great player, right? He had red hair, right? But one season with the under 23s, what gives him the credibility to be Arsenal's manager?
He was assistant coach in Germany.
He was coaching in Seattle. He was managing over there.
Come on. I'm going
He
to
was
Seattle.
assistant coach in Germany also.
I don't think you can say he's got the credentials. You just take it on his status,
exactly.
and
I agree.
You'd suck it and see. That is it. You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't say he's got a CV. He hasn't got a CV to manage Arsenal. He hasn't got the CV for that.
You know what some people do? You know what some clubs do? They point out a manager. For example, what RB Leipzig did, they went to Hoffenheim. They went to that manager. They told him, "We want you." He said, "I want to finish my season with this club." He finished his season. The next season, he started as manager, and they knew he was coming in from the beginning of December. So if we do this and we're a proper club, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a manager, line him up. We go to Gladbach or we go to Ajax, and we tell them we want your manager. We understand he's under contract. Let him finish the season with you guys. We'll pay out his contract by the end of the season. And starting next season, we have a brand new manager. Everyone will know from December that a new manager is coming in. And this manager is basically just seeing out the season.
Can I just make a point? Chu just turned around and said, "Am I serious? Is to Deadwood?" He's not Deadwood, but Arsenal do not play to his strengths. That's the problem. And the thing is, the thing is, if he can't adapt to what he's doing, then he's no good to us, right? You know, it's as simple as that. And I'll tell you what doesn't help Torreira. This everyone's going to get more on my back for saying this. Guendouzi does not help Torreira, because Guendouzi should not be playing as a deep line footballer or a DM. Guendouzi should be further up the pitch.
Leno doesn't help him either. And you talked about it earlier.
Leno was disgusting today. It was disgusting.
That was terrible.
Leno was awful today. His distribution was the worst I've seen it. Even the Wolves players who were up front standing on our penalty area were going, what's he doing? Is he going to pass it short or kick it long? Nobody knew.
That was suicide.
No.
You're basically
It was.
the ball. And you're telling him, go for
one more thing, right? Whoever played as the defensive midfield last season, was we any stronger? No.
I think we was last season. I mean, you know, a lot of people say, 22 game unbeaten run. Who did we beat? We can't beat no one now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who you put in front of you. You have to win your games. And last season, the structure that was there, we were pressing harder. We had Rob Holding at centre back. We had Torreira at defensive midfielder. We had Lacazette as the anchorman. The things that we were doing last year worked because, but the thing is, they're saying it wasn't sustainable. When you're pressing the way we pressed last year, it wasn't sustainable. And now we're hardly pressing at all. We're so bad off the ball when we don't have possession.
It was a 3-4-3.
One more person who's turned Emery out in the space of a week. First it was the kid.
Really?
Well, first it was Simon, then it was the kid, and now it's Stan. You're all seeing the light.
Don't forget Troops.
Hallelujah.
Troops too.
Yeah, don't forget Troops.
And Robbie.
Troops.
And Lee Gunner as well.
With what you were saying about Emery before.
I think for me, the Leicester result is probably going to dictate what the board are doing with the manager. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets sacked after the Leicester, because we ain't going to win there. We're not going to win at Leicester. I'm probably going to go for a 2-0 away win, and that's just me being nice.
5 games. 5 games you've had points.
The thing for me is,
you know what?
Sorry, Sonny.
Let's do some player ratings. Also, everyone in the comments as well, right? Let's do the player ratings first, and then we'll get back onto Emery and the rest of it as well. Let's also touch on the board as well, because I don't think the board should get away with it as well.
Yeah, agreed.
I said about the previous board as well. I said about the Hillwoods. I said they were dog shit as well. I think the Conkies are even worse.
Sonny, do you know what I tweeted yesterday? Cronker out. Cronker out. It's just going to go back full circle to that again, seriously. Because look at it with look at it with the manager stuff now, right? Not to get back onto it, but people saying just sack the manager. We couldn't even discipline the captain for telling the fans to fuck off and throw in the armband. What do you think we're going to get rid of the manager straight away for?
Right, let's go through player ratings. Simon, we'll start with you, yeah, Leno. Everyone in the comments, give me your player ratings. Leno.
3.5. And I'm giving him half for that one save he made with his face. Or whatever it was, that good quick reaction save. It
was right hand.
I agree.
It was a good
I agree with you. You guys' distribution was awful. Just putting us under pressure, just inviting it. Really shit.
Yeah, I mean, he would have got a 4 from me, but them 2 saves that he made were key to the game, so I'm giving him a 6.
Oh, nice.
But he's definitely under instruction. I think he has enough brains and football knowledge to know that he's putting us in danger every time he does that. I mean, there's no way he doesn't know that.
Same as with Czech last year.
Come on, guys, in the comments. Marble Hall series. I just asked you about Leno. You'll give me Socrates buzz. What's going on?
Same as Czech last year. He got better in net. Czech got better in net last year when he got to just punt the ball and not play it out.
Right, Apollo, what do you
I like Leno, but he has to get a fail today. He's getting a 4. There's no way.
Irfan, what do you give him?
Yeah, I'd give him a 4 as well, or a 3.5, just because of that one save that he made. That thing was pretty good and kept us at least in the game.
He made 2 saves, mate. Remember, he made one in the first.
His saves were relevant because he didn't. He's the first point of attack. When he claims the ball, he's too slow to give it to start the attack. And on top of that, when he's starting it off and he's giving it to a man where he's surrounded by 4 people, numerous occasions, that right there. You cannot do that ever. It's disrespect to.
Baz, what do you give him?
No, 5.
Okay.
He gets a 5.
But
I just had a quick question based on Leno, guys. Why do you think that he keeps hoofing it long to Aubameyang? We all know that Aubameyang can't hold the ball, so why does he keep doing that? Because we keep losing possession every time he does it. It's clueless.
I'd rather lose possession in your post.
Yeah.
In your post.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I was just going to say the same.
The Guendouzi, who also takes half an hour to turn, like Xhaka, his hair gets in his face, right? With 4 players around him. Right.
It's a good question because there were times today where he hit the ball long to Aubameyang and he had 2 red shirts in open field on the other side, and it's just like, what are you doing? Right. He's losing it, mate. He's losing it.
Sonny, what's that comment say?
Don't worry about it. Callum Chambers, for me, the best player on the pitch, right? for me. I thought it was really good today.
Yeah.
I'll give him an 8.
Whoa.
Is that Callum Chambers?
Yeah, I thought it was
Wow.
really good today.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, I'd give him a 6.5 to a 7 as well. I don't think it was his best game, but I definitely think he kind of held his own. I don't think he had such a challenge. My only concern with him, Sonny, is that I think he gets out of position quite a bit, you know, and we're expecting Socrates to come and cover for him, but Socrates isn't. I mean, he's fast, but he's not fast enough to be covering those positions, and then we get kind of, you know, stuck in the middle with no one, and it's kind of free space, and then that's how we're always conceding, is because there's just too many overlaps.
Actually, guys, I give him a 6 because I just realised he was the one that got out jumped on the header for the goal. So I'll give him a 6.
I still put that down. I still put that down to Ceballos though.
Yeah, it was Ceballos. He fell asleep during that throw.
Switched off at the throw-in. Yeah, switched off.
Can you rate quickly? We've only done 2 players so far.
I give him a 6 because I give him a 6 because I think he did okay.
8 from me, man of the match.
6.
Man of the match.
What?
Yeah, that's what I think as well.
Man of the match, mate. Easy.
Side, great minds think alike, bruv.
Or really stupid ones, mate.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be in my bandwagon, mate. To be honest with you. Right, we'll go Tierney.
So yeah, Tierney was my man of the match. I give him an 8. I think he definitely was the man of the match for me. I think Traore, I was scared of Traore before this game. And I mentioned when I was on the Gooners podcast with Tom on Monday that, you know, I thought it was going to be whoever was going to be playing, whether it was Kolasinac or Tierney. I think that was going to be very pivotal because as we know, when Kolasinac plays, a lot of teams kind of target that area as our weak point and kind of go for it. And I think Tierney did a good job today. I think he got beaten once. He got beaten once or twice in the first half. And after that, he was pretty solid. So
bearing in mind he's playing against Armand Traore, he's probably the quickest player in the Premier League. I think he's done really well.
Yeah, that's why he's my man of the match.
I second that shout. I think he was the best player on the pitch for us today.
No, I won't go that far. Do you know what? If you notice the game, mate, half the time when losing it wasn't passing to him, and they kept passing to Chambers instead.
Yeah, that was so silly.
Yeah, he didn't have much play down his side.
No, but
I was
watching on TV. It seemed like he was wide open.
He was, yeah. He was wide open a lot of times. They never passed it to him. Apollo, what's your marks for Tierney?
Yeah, 6 for Tierney for me.
6. Baz?
Yeah, I thought he dropped off a little, but I thought he held his own. I thought he did really well, but I wouldn't. He's not my man of the match. I'll give him a 6.
Baz, what's yours?
7. He was my man of the match.
Okay.
He did all right. He held his own. So yeah.
Let's go.
Great minds think alike.
I was a 7.5 on Tierney, and he'd have got an 8, the same as Chambers, and been joint man of the match. If he hadn't got subbed, that was the only reason he was less than Chambers for me.
Let's go David Luiz, right? Let's go David Luiz. You know, he's got a great pass in him, right? But he runs like plays in quicksand. You know, he's got no pace at all.
So I'd give him a 4. I think if you look back at the goal, Socrates gives him a pretty dirty look, saying, you know, like, that was your man. Like, how could you have let him go? I think even though it was Ceballos' fault in terms of losing his man for the throw-in, I think David Luiz defensively, I mean, Chelsea got one over us again. First check, now David Luiz.
Well, I'm going to say another thing which is going to be very contentious, right? David Luiz is the reason why we're so bad. And I'll tell you why. Because he's got no pace, our defence dropped back too far. He's midfield exposed, and it totally imbalances the whole team. You know, and that's my take on it. Martin Keown agrees, so he can't be wrong.
I give him a 7. I thought his distribution was fantastic today. I thought all the corners and set pieces that were being taken, he was the one that was leading the team in clearances. I thought he stepped up today and played really well, so I'm giving David Luiz a 7.
I feel like that's a good shot for the 7 because he was the key pass that led to the goal that got into. I don't know how he got on the wing, but somehow he did.
He had 6 headed clearances today from all the crosses that were coming in. I think he done well.
Say what you want about his speed; he's not that fast, but his positioning. He needs to improve on his positioning a little bit, but majority of the time he's there for the headers.
Yeah, stupid statement, mate. Basically, his positioning when he takes 9 other players out of their position, by dropping too far back.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
He just backs off quite a
Yeah.
bit. He backs off quite a bit.
Yeah, did you notice it though for that run right at the end of the game? I can't think who it was.
Yeah.
Who was it? Jota that went in.
It was
He
almost
did-
a penalty.
But Louise, the same thing again, got caught square and dangled the leg, and he just didn't go over it. But it'd have been a
Yeah.
penalty again.
Me,
The
exactly.
same thing again. Same thing again.
me, I give him a
Criminal.
3.
Good eyes, Simon. Good
I give
eyes.
him a 3, mate.
Hey, bro, if I said Bert Leno and Bert Leno, I actually said Bert Leno, but if it was Bert Leno, it
Bert Leno.
might as well be Bert from the bloody Simpsons, for all I know. Or fucking Bert from, Bert from fucking Sesame Street, wherever it is.
Fucking Burt
No,
Reynolds.
but you know when you're talking about his speed, he used to play with John Terry, and John Terry's speed was never that good. He always used to drop back and manage the
Well,
situation.
how far do you want to go back when the Romans were when
Yeah,
the Romans
exactly.
were building Italy?
He was much younger. He was much younger.
Yeah.
Now he's kind of reaching his end.
All right, let's go Socrates.
I think Socrates was played good. I honestly, I don't see anything that he did wrong. I think he was no nonsense today.
I kind of disagree, kid. I think I would give him a 5. What would you give him? Sorry.
I'll give him a 6.
6. I'd give him a 5. I expect much more from him. I think last season he was much better than he is this season. I think he's dropped quite a bit in terms of quality. I think he makes a lot of silly tackles. For example, I'm going to point out one example, which I think you guys will remember very clearly. That one where he had a jump with, I think, Andy King, and he didn't even get hit, and he was on the floor, and they almost scored from it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Nitesh, bruv, please. I've got a lot of respect for you, bruv, but this is the most stupid statement you could ever make, bruv. Seriously.
Louise for striker.
David Luiz has scored 1 winner for us and another goal already, which gave us a point or two more or less. Yes, even out his penalties. So I think until Holding can improve soon, we need to use Luiz. Bruv, if you make a mistake, you don't even that shit, bruv. Because there's other players playing in the team as well. You can't even out a mistake by doing something good. That's what you're paid to do.
Yeah,
I think Chambers has a shout to keep his place in the team and move into the middle as a center back. Once Bellerin is fully held.
Yeah, I agree too with Holding.
Speaking of Chambers, what is Chambers' best position? What's his best position, like he said?
Chambers is
utility.
a Army knife. Play him anywhere.
That's not good enough.
That's
not good enough for me.
The thing is, it might not be good enough for the first team, but how many versatile players have we got?
Yeah.
2.
Just
We've got him. Exactly. We've got him and Ainsley Maitland-Niles. You've got to have a few of them. You've got to.
Guys, the one thing you're forgetting about Chambers Chambers was one of the players of the season last year in that defensive midfielder position, which we've never played him in. He led the Premiership in passes intercepted last year when he was playing for Fulham. So he's adaptable there. He can play there. We've just never tested him. We've just never put him in that position.
Anthony Roberts, great question, mate. And I'm going to come to that. I'm going to come to that at the end because I think that's the topic we need to talk about. But brilliant question.
Socrates, 6 for me for Socrates. 6.
Yeah.
He gets a 5.5 from me.
Apollo, quick one on that. I mean, Chambers is not better than Torreira in that position, but I do agree we should give him a chance.
Do you not think though we should try playing Chambers and Torreira at the base of midfield?
No, I agree.
Probably try
Kolasinac before
just try it.
Chambers, man.
I
agree.
Simon, you're bang on. I've been saying
that video. It can't be great. I thought I'd get 1,000 by now.
Oh god!
But you know what? People are talking about me, which is good. Whether it's good or bad, they're talking. It's when people stop talking about you, that's when it's not good.
You know what, Sonny? You speak your mind, you tell it how it is, and if they don't like it, tough. Football's all about opinions.
Bruv, you know what? People can't own my opinion. It's my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I always say, mate, opinions are like arseholes. Everybody's got one.
Exactly. But, what am I going to say? Who's next? We've done Socrates. Let's go to the midfield. Let's go Dan Ceballos.
Around the world.
Daniel, I know they're not rating me back, brother, and you know what? I don't read the comments. So I don't care what 12-year-old virgin fanboys care. I really don't bother me.
Yeah,
I'm going for a 5 with Ceballos. I'm just confused. Which is this guy is a number. He plays number 10 for the Spanish under-21s, and he's fantastic in that setup.
Yeah.
We're playing him and Torreira in the wrong positions. Ceballos should be more up the field, acting as a number 10, supplying the strikers and being creative. Instead, we've got him sitting as a holding midfielder. And obviously, what happened with the goal that Wolves scored today? He lost his man who went right behind him. He failed to track him. He got the assist for the goal, and then Wolves were level. You look, Ceballos for me, if things don't start changing in terms of where we're playing him, then he's going to be a waste this season. And that's how I see it. But today, I give him a 5.
Do you know what? I actually think Ceballos is a fantastic footballer.
Yeah.
Go on.
But I think this league might be too fast for him.
Yeah, that too, man. Yeah, that too. This league is no joke.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I made that comment about Kieran Tierney. Regardless of what's happened and where he's come from, today was a tough game for him, man. It was a tough game, and he held his own. That's what I liked about Kieran Tierney's display. So with Ceballos, one thing I noticed today, looking at Ozil and looking at Ceballos, one was silky smooth, flowed with the game, got open, created tons of opportunities to get beyond the back line, and the other, Ceballos, was just like a Tasmanian devil. He's going 100 miles an hour.
Can I just address another point? And this is really good. This is right, Nathaniel. Thanks for the comment, mate. Anyone with a Jamie Vardy picture, I'll question anyway. But Salah should not even be allowed on AFTV. The dude has very low IQ. He's saying he don't rate Uber. Go back and replay the video, mate. I said I'm not a fanboy. I didn't say I don't rate him. I said I'm not a fanboy. All right, which means I don't lick his ass.
You can criticize someone
Get
who
the
didn't have
story.
a bad game.
I did not even mention Aubameyang's performance today, so I don't know what your problem is.
So
Guys, I just want to mention something in the chat. Anthony Roberts has just mentioned that we're not even moving the ball fast enough for Ceballos to excel at his passing, and that is totally right. I know Robbie mentioned something about it on AFTV, but our build-up play is so slow. And it just, teams are able to get back into their shape because of the amount of time we're pissing around with the ball in the midfield. And the fact that the manager hasn't fixed that. Wenger was excellent at that quick pass and just get forward, attack, be aggressive, and that's one of the reasons why we're struggling this year.
Apollo,
because we're not direct.
Apollo,
Because we're not direct.
Let me just make a point. If Dani Ceballos came from any other team, right, other than Real Madrid, everyone would be digging him out now. The fact that he's come from Real Madrid is why everyone thinks he's Ronaldo. He ain't. He's come from Real Madrid's academy. Let's just get it right, yeah?
Yeah, but the thing is, no one's bigging him up because of that. The only reason why people bigged him up, Sonny, was because of what he did in the under-21 championships. And he was the player of the tournament. So, and whether he was with Madrid or not, he made his name because of that tournament. So I don't think, for me, Madrid don't know what they've got in the player, which is the reason why he's playing for us.
But he is a good player. I like him. When he's got the ball, he's got time, he'll kill you. He's a good player, but you don't get that time in the Premier League. And the thing is, Arsenal have not got the players around him again.
Can I say one more thing about him? He's another square peg getting rammed in a round hole. There was too many bodies in the middle of the park today, and they're all trying to do the same thing. And when he plays like that today, where he's not quite sure where he's meant to be, he feels like a poor man's Ramsey to me. And I wasn't Ramsey's biggest fan, but he makes me think I'd rather have Ramsey back.
But
Yeah,
I won't
I agree.
I won't be his biggest fan either, but he was a fucking lot better than what we got now.
Yeah,
The thing is,
Simon, remember the most important thing is Ramsey was getting booed off the pitch when he was 21. Remember that? Yeah. Ramsey was getting massive abuse when he was 21 for Arsenal, and look how we turned it around. So,
All right, let's go, Guendouzi.
No, just a quick one. I'd give Ceballos a 3. I didn't give him my rating. I think I'd give him a 3.
I didn't give him a rating either.
I'll give him a 3 as well.
I'll give him a 3 as well.
He gets a 5 from me.
Wow. Guendouzi had a terrible game. Let's be honest. From beginning to end, and it didn't help.
Yeah,
it didn't help that every time he got onto the ball, it would stick onto him for too long. He wasn't just keeping it moving. He would get the ball. He would look. Tierney's wide open. I don't know why you're turning around, facing the other way, and passing it to the next man next to you and going back. It's annoying.
Do you think that's a personal thing or the instructions he's given?
I don't get it because Tierney is wide open numerous occasions. He could play the ball to Tierney. He has the ball in him to give the ball to a man that's 15 feet away from him. But instead, he chooses to pass it back to Socrates on numerous occasions.
I think Simon.
Emu, there's nothing wrong with being a fanboy. If you're a devil worshipper, there's nothing wrong with being that as well. If that's the way you're inclined, you know. But at the end of the day, if someone is doing something wrong, you can call them out, all right? It's not going to hurt their feelings, you know. They're grown men. They've come through each stage of their life in football, and they've made it because they're supposed to have character. Don't worry, you won't hurt their feelings. They're not made of cotton wool, all right?
Some people, they support the player, not the team, and that's
Mate,
what I don't like.
I support the team, bruv. I
Support the team, not the player.
Whilst I support the team, I support the team so much. When they're shit, I say so. Let's go. Mesut Ozil.
I was gonna give Guendouzi a 5 because I think today specifically, I mean, as the kid says, he just holds the ball for way too long.
Do you know what? You're coming, Irfan. You're coming in very late, mate. You're like a porn star on Viagra.
Sorry?
I said you're coming very late. You're like a porn star on Viagra.
Oh, sorry. what are you asking for Ozil's rating?
Ozil's rating now. Go on.
All right, I give Ozil a 6. I think he's much more creative, but not enough for what I want.
I give him an 8, and he was my man of the match.
He gets 7 for me.
I can see that. Definitely.
Every time he touched the ball.
I tell you what, guys. Today was the first time that I've seen a midfielder play 1-2s and get beyond the back of the defensive line and play balls into the box. Ozil could have had 2 or 3 assists today. I mean, the last one where there was 5 minutes left, and he plays the 1-2 with Turney, and he gets right behind the baseline and sweeps it across the 6-yard line, and no one's there to tap it. And I think Saka was making a run, and he just missed it. Things like that. You've got to make those runs as a striker. The Ozil's done his job.
The Mooney's not real. Well, the Mooney's real, mate. So you're probably stupid as your title, right? If I'm a clickbait scumbag, it's my channel. I'll do what I want, right? If they have TV, don't choose to put me on. It's up to them. There's no skin off my nose, and they pay me for it. So if I'm a clickbait scumbag, it's my opinion, but if you want to be a clickbait scumbag, you go on there.
Do it.
Can I just say, Ozil, he gets a 7 from me.
Now you're Paul Star Viagra.
No, I thought he was good. I thought he looked lively again. I don't think people saying he was going to be the Messiah and come in and as soon as we play Ozil, we'll start blowing people away. It's never going to be the case because we all know the tactics are the problem. And today he puts Ozil in and hamstrings him by taking out his 2 wide options.
Everything Ozil done today was class.
Yeah.
He uses class. I don't think you'll find anybody that doesn't enjoy watching that guy play when he's in the mood. You can't, because you can't like football if you don't enjoy watching him play.
You know what? You could be the most creative person going. If you ain't got no runners, you can't create nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
And today we didn't have no runners at Apollo.
Sonny, my mate nailed it. He said, "How do you know Van Gogh's Van Gogh if you don't give him a paintbrush and paint?"
You know that. Well,
he's just another guy. He's just another guy, but with an ear missing.
No, well, that's what I was about to say. You know, so you've got one ear.
It's them great minds again, Sonny.
I mean, the thing is, right? He links with the front line so well, and right now he just hasn't had that to work with. And I made a video called "Is Ozil a Scapegoat?" and it talks about he's playing the statistics and what he did in the World Cup, why he was the most creative player there. Germany still got knocked out, but that doesn't have a knock on him as the player himself. In this setup for Arsenal, let's remember this. He was the man behind when Sanchez got 31 goals, Walcott got 19 goals, and Sanchez and Giroud got 16 goals. In that season, they scored 64 goals as a front line, and Ozil still had 12 goals that season. So this is the guy that we're talking about is shit and doesn't belong in the club and he's lazy and he's all that. This is what the guy can do. So it was striking that Pepe was not on the field today, because if you put runners in front of him, he'll rip the shit out of your defense. And for some reason, we were robbed of that today.
That's the only reason why I can understand Emery putting kids on, because it's willing runners for Ozil. That's the only thing I could make sense of.
Big D's, we're talking about Arsenal Wolves, bruv. What's the Moonlanders got to do with anything anyway? But I respect that. Thanks for educating me. I didn't know that. I don't really care about astrology, whatever it is. Anyway, so we've done Ozil. Another good point. Sunny TV Unfiltered, I wish you would have explained your Torreira criticism on FTV in more detail. I did not get your point you were making. The problem is when you're doing an interview on FTV and everyone's shouting in your ear roll, you lose track of what you're actually saying sometimes, and you can't make your point fully.
Sonny, why do you think I told you I haven't gone back to AFTV ever since?
It's true, isn't it? A lot of people, I'm telling you,
And Robbie interrupts you.
a lot of people,
A lot.
not just on AFTV, on a lot of fan cams for a lot of clubs, right?
Yeah.
They rehearse their shit before they even go on there, before they've even seen the game. I'm telling you that for a fact. I'm not saying AFTV do it. I'm saying some people do it.
At the kid, I think that's a good point that you make. Robbie, he interrupts a lot, which I don't appreciate, and I think he directs the conversation towards where he wants it to go a lot of the time. Whereas before, in the past, when it wasn't as popular, he would let people say as is and kind of be honest about their opinion. Just my point.
Yeah, I haven't got a bad thing to say about Robbie. He's doing what he's doing, and all the best to it. But I think that as YouTubers, we've got our own platforms, and we should focus on that and say what we want to say in the way that we want to say it, because that's our one-on-one opportunity to have that relationship with the fan and speak our mind. And I didn't think that I could do that on AFTV, and Sonny as well. Sonny's able to do his own thing. And whether you like me or not, or whether you like Sonny or not, we're giving you what we want to give you. And if you like it, great. If you don't, then go somewhere else. But at the same time, we're being honest and truthful with you.
Bro, you know what? I don't care if people like me or not, to be honest with you, right? It don't bother me. It don't bother me. If you like me, it's great. If you don't like me, it's cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
As long as you don't step up in my face, we've got no issue. Call me what you want. I don't care. I'm not going in jacker. I'm not going to throw off my armband. I'm not going to tell you what fuck up. I'm not going to do it. Just say what you want. It's cool. No problem. I haven't, James. I haven't seen Kelechi's interview, right? But if Kelechi spent more time focusing on the football than his song and dance routine, his song and dance routine, right, that he practices with his mates, right, in front of the mirror, he might speak some sense. I love the guy's positivity about everything. He's a good friend of mine as well. But if anyone wants Emery in, I just can't co-sign it. I'm sorry, I can't co-sign it.
I think so. We can't confuse Emery in people with people who just don't want to slag him off. Because there's people who just don't want to slag him off and they don't want to say anything negative. They're just overly positive. And if he left tomorrow, don't get me wrong, I think even the most positive person would be okay with it.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what? I'll say something, right? Even people with negative comments, yeah? Everyone's entitled to their opinion. If you want to cuss me, it's cool. If that's your opinion of me, you don't know me. If that's your opinion, it's cool. But have your opinion. It's freedom of speech, man. We're not in Iraq before Saddam Hussein. Say what you want.
Yeah.
We're done, Ozil. Who we got left?
Strikers.
We got main man Lucas Torreira.
Shall I kick us off, boys?
Let's not base him CDM. Let's base him on today's performance, yeah, because that's what we're counting on. Not what he's done for Uruguay. Not what he done in the cages back in Uruguay when he's playing with his mates in the park on the stones with his flip flops. Right? Let's base him on today.
Question.
I gave him a 4, guys. 4 is as much as he's playing out of position. He looks lost. He's not even involved in the game. He's not involved in the build-up. He's not involved in protecting the back 4. He's just left on an island in a position that he's not favoured in, and he's a waste there. And I don't know why the manager. And it hurts me because the manager's not even playing him. And when he's playing him in a position that he's not going to get the best out of him. So this isn't anything to do about the player. This is to do more with he should not be there. So for me, 4. And I'm being generous.
Before I come to anyone else's comment, I just want to shout out Mike Overmars Stone. Mike, thanks for having me in your front room, bruv. I really appreciate it. Sorry to Mrs. Overmars Stone, right? But we're only on for an hour and a half, 2 hours at max. And I appreciate the love, mate. So, Mike Overmars Stone, always give you a shout out, bruv.
No, I agree with Apollo. I give a 4 as well.
Baz, if your head wasn't moving, I'll shoot you a photograph. Speak.
For me. For me, he gets a 5.
Okay.
For me, he gets a 5. Yeah, he looks clueless out there.
I'm exactly in line with these guys. It's a 5, but he needs to play at CDM. We all know that. I'd be quite happy to never see him go past the halfway line.
Yeah, totally. He should be protecting the back 4, and that's all there is to it. He's a monster.
People keep saying about he can't play football. We don't need him to play football. Same as a goalkeeper for me. Just move the thing.
Springer, yeah, I love you, bud. No one can ever silence me, mate. No one can ever silence me. The only time I'll be silenced if someone cuts my tongue out. No one can ever silence me. And that trick DT, as much as he wants to talk about AFTV, he don't own AFTV. He's just another muppet who goes on there. That's all, right? So check yourself, DT. You're no better than the rest of us who go on there, all right? Robbie owns AFTV. Deal with it. Stop trying to be him. You're not him.
And find your
Sonny,
hat.
to be fair though.
On top of that, no one likes you on there either. Robbie don't like you. No one likes you. No one likes you. You're crap. Anyway, and I'll tell you that on Wednesday to your face, yeah? When you're away from the Emirates and you haven't got a ticket to lose. Yeah, big up yourself then, you prick. Go on.
Sonny just throwing grenades in the chat.
Thanks, dickhead.
Sonny, I was just gonna say, even if someone did cut your tongue out, I think you'd sound pretty cool with one of those voice things like Stephen Hawking. Welcome to Sonny on Treble Tonight.
I've learned sign language as well. Who we got left?
Lacazette.
Aubameyang, Lacazette.
Two strikers, yeah, man.
I'd give Lacazette a 5. I don't know if he's still injured or what's going on. I think obviously he brings more hold-up play than Aubameyang, but he had one shot with his left foot, didn't get that much service, and he just doesn't seem the same as he was last season.
Yeah,
big things. I've asked Judge on a million times, but he knows the door's always open to him, and all he needs to do is ask me to come on. That is one person I've got a lot of respect for. I love the geezer. Go on, boys. Lacazette.
Yeah, I'm giving Lacazette a 6. I totally agree with Ephraim. I think that he has not been 100% fit, and over the last few games, what's frustrated me is seeing him feigning injuries and fouls and rolling over and trying to get free kicks. It's just not his style, and it's so sad for us to see that he's resorted to a player like that. And today was a little bit more of back to the old Lacazette, him backing in on defenders and trying to bring others into play. And I liked what he did today. He set the goal up doing exactly the same thing. As games go on, he's going to get a little bit better as he gets back into fitness. He's been out for 2 months. So I think that I'll go with a 6, but I'm not gonna lie. Martinelli did look better than him when he came on. So
big up Kieran, KS1. If you haven't subscribed to him, please go subscribe to him. Kieran is the goalkeeper for AFTV FC, and I'll hopefully he'll come on a podcast before then. But I'll be seeing him next Wednesday. Lovely geezer.
Yeah, he talks a ton of sense as well.
And a very good goalie.
Real one.
Big up Kieran.
Yeah, it's a real one. When it comes to Lacazette, he doesn't get enough credit for his build-up play and connecting with the team and how he helps Aubameyang out and how he helps link up the connection to Aubameyang in the midfield. Because without Lacazette, let's be honest, a lot of Aubameyang's goals would not have been scored without Lacazette. And likewise, the other way, Aubameyang and Lacazette. Those two need to play together, and Emery needs to sort this out because we're not playing direct. We're not playing them together at times. If one of those guys get injured again, I doubt we're going to score goals. Right now, we're struggling.
Do you know what? I'm going to say controversial at the moment. I'm just want to say to JR. JR's a big friend of mine, yeah? JR, bro, I don't know if your girl's name is Testicle, right? Because obviously it isn't. If it was, is it hairy one, shaved one, whatever? But you haven't got me, my bro. Do you know what I was going to say? I was going to say, right? If either Aubameyang or Lacazette, one of them did actually get injured, right, for a period of time, I think we'd actually we might even have a better structure as a team. Not that I want them to, because I like Emery to find a way of getting them both playing. So I'm not saying I want one of them injured. Before any virgins out there, fanboys, start attacking me for that as well. I've had enough attack for one day. I'm not saying that.
No, but Sonny, explain. You think we'd have a better structure with one of them injured?
I don't think. Well, let's not say injured. Let's not be hard. Let's say if we left one of them out.
Okay.
Emery's not using them in a formation to their ability at the moment. That's the problem. He's not accommodating both of them.
But there's no creativity for them, so it's a struggle.
I think if we played a 3-5-2 and Pepe in the hole, that's what I'd do. To be honest with you. and I'll let Pepe take on people in the midfield for fun, create space, pop the ball to Ozil. Ozil then feed Lacazette and Aubameyang all day long. Done deal. I've just sorted out Arsenal season for the rest of the season, and we qualify for the top 4. Unai Emery, you don't need to pay me. Just subscribe.
Sonny in.
Yeah, just subscribe.
Just subscribe and like the video.
I don't dislike DT. I actually liked DT, to be honest with you, before he started mugging me off with his snidey comments. I paid £200 to go and watch his son box, right, to support him. But what I don't like is people trying to bully people on Twitter. But I'm a 49-year-old man. I don't get bullied. Lacazette, Aubameyang, they didn't do a lot. Lacazette, Aubameyang scored, good goal. I'm not a fanboy. Like I said, I do rate the geezer. Best striker we've had for a very, very long time. I'm not going to give him a high rating because he didn't do nothing else in the game. So I'm going to give him. I feel I could give him a 7. Lacazette, I don't think done anything at all. I'll give him a 6.
Lacazette gets a 5 from me.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing.
Lacazette.
The thing with Lacazette at the minute, he just reeks of desperation. It's like what Apollo was saying there about the little fouls and stuff. He just screams desperation at the minute to me.
Agreed.
Remember the one against Victoria where he tries to.
That was.
Get him sent off. He was trying to get him sent off because we were losing and we were desperate. And I'll say one thing.
I'll say one thing to credit him though. In the game today, he could have reacted to that the second time he got grabbed. He could have kicked off and he didn't. But I think that's because he'd learned from that Victoria game. Agreed. Fans we don't like that shit. I don't want to see it. I don't care if it's an Arsenal player. You get called out.
I know Emmanuel Ibui was the master at that, but we just don't want to see it.
Lacazette, if he doesn't score or assist, I still feel like he's done something in the game. Where Aubameyang, if he doesn't score or assist, I'm worried that he's somewhat like a passenger in the game. I don't get me wrong. Without Aubameyang, we wouldn't have as much points, and everyone knows we need him. But Aubameyang doesn't bring more to our game as a striker than Lacazette does. Because when Lacazette's a striker, the ball sticks to him, and it gives us someone to play.
Fuck me, Oziguna, you're all at it today. Fuck you know.
Oh my God, bend over.
The thing about Lacazette and Aubameyang, we ruined Lacazette, man. We ruined Lacazette. Yeah, the geezer's style of play, right? If you looked at him at Lyon, right? Yeah, he was a behind the shoulder geezer. Yeah, waits for the ball, boom, smash. The geezer, has now become to everyone. Yeah, he's become like a 12, 13 goal season striker. He should be at least 20 goal season striker. We need service. We need to service the strikers. If we don't service them, then there's no point in it. They're not going to score goals.
Marble Hall TV. Uber looked really good with just Pepe and Saka. Marble Hall TV. If you haven't subscribed to him, go check him out. He's going to come on the channel pretty soon as well. I support all YouTubers, right?
Get it.
I'm not one of those big accounts who don't support anybody. I support all YouTubers, whether they're big accounts, small accounts, medium accounts. Yeah. Boom. Unless you're a donut. No, I don't.
First time I heard that, I started crying.
What was I going to say?
Donut.
I think it's Richard in the earlier comments. He said, which one of our younger players has progressed? Personally, I think it's time Saka gets dropped.
I agree.
He's had a couple of games. He was on a high. He's not doing nothing now. The team's not playing the team's not playing very well, and I think they're going to kill him if they keep playing him. They've killed Pepe. Emery has killed Pepe. He's going to kill Saka, and he kills anyone. The only person who looks bloody impressive is Martinelli. I'm telling you.
Wow. What
the thing is, Sonny, the exact same is happening now with Martinelli. People are saying, put him in the first team.
Yeah, you're right.
The same will happen. We'll just burn him out.
Right.
We'll just burn through him. It's the same. You can't rely on 17-year-olds week in, week out. That's madness. Yeah, you can't. That's Sunday league shit when everyone else is pissed and they've not turned up. It's crazy.
Arsenal Realist is in the house. Arsenal Realist is on a 3-month ban online. But please go support his channel because he's still doing videos. So go and support him. He's a top geezer, good guy.
Simon, just a quick one on that. I think Martinelli, in terms of like when you compare him to Saka, I think Martinelli is a better all-round player, in my opinion. I think he's stronger. I think he can head the ball. I think he's definitely going to be a future Ballon d'Or winner, and he looks like our Neymar. I rate him really highly, and I think he shows passion. I think he can score with his left foot, right foot. I mean, he's the whole package. I really like him.
I've said
I don't know about Ballon d'Or yet. You're kind of pushing it.
Anthony, the kid. For Anthony's comments, come back to what Anthony says and give your views on that.
I think Willock deserves a shout when it comes to one of the kids that have been playing well, because at the beginning, don't forget, he was preseason going into the season, even the first couple of games, he was one of our best players, and he didn't deserve to be dropped. So I don't know what happened, where things went wrong, but for me, Willock has shown a lot of improvements from this season, from where he was last season.
Do you think he was dropped, or do you just think his form dropped off a little bit and he had to start taking him out the limelight? Because I don't think that he just pulled him for the sake of it. I think he was doing it for his own benefit.
I feel like Emery just he has his favorites, and his favorites are the safe older people in the squad, like the more experienced people. So the moment he had an opportunity to put back in the more experienced people, he took out Willock right away, and he went with his old Xhaka, Torreira, and Guendouzi.
The kid, Nitesh is making a point. He said Saka and Martinelli should not be brought on together when they're trying to win a game or chasing one. We need experience when they're trying to win. The problem today is when he brought Saka on, right? Bearing in mind that everyone says I never watched the game, yeah, right? Even though I was sitting in the clock and watching it, right? And that's how I base my opinions on Torreira over the whole season and last season, because I do watch it, right? He brought Saka on and stuck him in the number 10 position. You know?
Yeah.
Another tactical mistake.
Yeah, I mean, he ended up covering Turney for the last 10, 15 minutes, regardless of whether he was the number 10. I mean, he was defensively trying to help slow down that pressure that Turney was facing. My opinion on the youth is you've got to know, you know, Wenger always talked about the Michael Owens effect. He said if you put these guys on the field too much, you're going to break them because their body's physically not ready to play the amount of games in the manner that you want them to play them in over that short pace of time. And we've seen Nelson is injured right now. Willock looks like he got burnt out. Saka's going through a little bit of a burnout. So you just can't depend on these 18-year-olds to get you through tough times. And, you know, regardless of what we think about the youth guys, you've got to ease them in really slowly, man.
Exactly.
Can I say one more thing on that point? Just what Irfan was saying a minute ago.
Matt Howes, when the podcast finishes, I'll unblock your other channel, but I need to find it. But I'm going to unblock you, yeah?
Sorry, man. Just going back to what Irfan was saying a second ago. I raised the point in one of my videos the other day, which is that it's all good and well. It's like Martinelli and Saka are the same to me in that scenario where these guys, when they're coming on as impact subs, there's no expectations. It's just go out there, enjoy yourself, and play your game. Whereas when they're in the team from the start, you're expected to put numbers on that board. And if you don't, you're going to get some criticism. And that's what we're leaving them open to. But for me, like Saka, I don't think he's a million miles worse than Martinelli. I just think they're two totally different types of players. And I said it like, Martinelli's more of an Ozil. Martinelli's more of a Sanchez, whereas Saka's more of an Ozil. You know, when people used to say, can you do it on a cold, wet, windy Tuesday night in Stoke? Martinelli's the guy you would take to Stoke. Saka isn't.
Do you know what? At the moment, you know, Saka has got a lot of fancy tricks. You know, he can break dance in the phone box, but at the moment he's got no end product.
I agree because he's a youth player.
And how much money do we need for Arsenal to improve their squad?
100 million.
Money.
Well,
how much money?
The answer to that is more money than the Conquerors are prepared to put in.
No, Sonny, I'll tell you how much money it takes to get us better. £6 million to get rid of Emery.
Yeah, you're right.
Agreed.
For me, it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about making the correct investments.
KG, Reece Nelson's not underrated, mate. Reece Nelson ain't done nothing in Arsenal shirt yet.
Yeah, he's overrated.
But guys,
He's been the biggest disappointment this season.
No matter how much money you spend, if you've got a manager who can't set his team up right, who doesn't know what his formations is, who can't get any stability on the defensive side of the ball, no amount of money is going to save that. You could spend. You remember what Claudio Ranieri was doing when Chelsea was throwing $500 million at the transfer market? He weren't doing nothing. And I think that we're in a situation where you have to get a manager who's going to get the players to punch above their weight. These players now are punching below their weight. We're not getting the best out of them.
Oh, true. I totally agree.
They're down to their competition.
Another thing about Saka. I'm not digging the geezer out, right? The kid is quality. He is quality, right? Apart from Martinelli, he was head and shoulders, right,
above everyone else, and that's including Joe Willock and Reece Nelson, right? Yeah.
The problem is he can't consistently play every game. He just can't. He's not physically. He's not a man yet. He's not physically a man yet.
Yeah. We shouldn't be expecting that either.
17-year-old is going to give you consistent games week in, week out, months on end.
Bro,
we're going to have a drop off.
If we're trying to get top 4, bro, not
I get that.
Not from 4th to 15th.
I get that.
Yeah.
So if they can't give consistent games, I'm sorry.
Sonny,
they're not the right people at the moment.
I was agreeing with you, but I was just saying it in a different way, and you just jumped on my throat.
I'm not jumping on your case. What I'm doing, I'm trying to explain to everyone who takes me wrong.
Okay. There's different ways.
And you're one of them.
There's different ways to say it. You can say they're not good enough, but you can also say they're still developing, and you cannot expect 10 out of 10 every week. That's what I'm saying.
Bruv, we're not trying to hatch a chicken. I don't care what's developing. I don't care. I want ready-made players now.
Yeah,
we're waiting too long.
And what Sonny's saying, you can't not say that Sonny's right with what he's saying, because if you take it, for instance, the players are in their prime when they're 25 to 28. That's Ramsey right now at 28 is in his prime. But if you're looking to build a team with guys who were 17 last month and just turned 18, then there's something seriously wrong with what the manager's doing, putting them onto the field. You talk about Pepe should have been on the field. We're talking about Martinelli and Sacco today. Pepe should have been on the field.
Yeah.
72 million.
And a proven player, 23 goals and 11 assists last year. Why wasn't Pepe on the field today? We're talking about Martinelli and Sacco.
And that's the thing when
I'll tell you why he wasn't on the field. I'll tell you why he wasn't on the field, because he went to Anfield the other night and he was tired by sitting on the coach and doing nothing.
And the funny part is that
not too long ago.
He just scored 2 amazing free kicks. I mean, his confidence should be skyrocketing, and he hasn't played against Liverpool when he should have come on, or today.
Yeah, he's took the kettle totally off the boil. Totally.
You know what?
Yeah.
This is Arsenal fans' problem. Martinelli is not the new Suarez. I'm sorry. You can't even compare the two in the same breath at the moment. Someone also said Saka's got a messy touch. I'm sorry, but he hasn't. Right? Yeah. Stop overrating these players. You're lining them up to fall. Just let them develop.
Can I chime in with one more thing here? The guy asked about money, saying how much money does it take? And that is one of my pet hates with fans. Why do they always equate spending large amounts of money to getting better?
Because quality.
Look at how many teams we've seen. Yeah, but look at Everton. Look at AC Milan. You can go and throw £1 billion at it. If you ain't got the right guy in charge, you might as well throw another 20 billion at it, because it ain't going to make any difference.
I agree. It's a balance.
Man United have spent 800 million since Ferguson left, and look where they are. It's not all about money, man.
The best player they've got at the moment is a 15-year-old that they paid 10 million for or whatever.
Yeah, it's not all about money. We've gone out and spent 140 million this summer, and the best players at the moment now are these bloody 18-year-olds we're talking about.
Fantastic question. I want everyone to answer this. Coquelin or Ferreira?
Come on, man.
Coquelin.
Yeah. Torreira all day.
Torreira all day.
Torreira, man. Coquelin.
You know what? I'll go Coquelin.
Coquelin was the number 1 rated statistic midfielder in Europe. Yeah?
You know what? When he had Santi Cazorla next to him, what a partnership that was.
Yeah,
I miss that guy, man. Listen, you guys need to know the facts right now. The facts are, in 2015, that calendar year, Arsenal only let in 20 goals in that calendar from January to December. The second team behind us was Man United with 26. Our defense was so good. People talking about, we ain't had a good defense since the Invincibles. Know your role, guys. Know your facts. Arsenal's defense in 2015, we had Mertesacker at the back. We had Coughlin in the midfield, and they were bossing the midfield. They were bossing our spine. We had proper spine in that team. And right now, we've lost that. We sold him off to Valencia for a bag of chips and 10 million.
I'm curious. I'm curious to know if we asked you this question
We kept
last
him
year,
over El Neni.
what would you say? If Torreira was in like flying form, you know, he was playing amazing. He potentially had he potentially had Cazorla instead of Xhaka or Guendouzi, two very inexperienced and error-prone players. Would our opinion be different?
Forget that. We kept El Neni and got rid of what do you call it, Coughlin. That right there was a big mistake.
You know what? Just before I address that, I just want to say, you know what? I hope Marcel is our new Suarez, because at the moment the kid is fantastic. The kid is class, right?
He reminds me of Sanchez.
What was that point? Do you know what? What I was going to say? I would have kept Jack Wilshere with one leg over El Neni.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I agree with you.
Oh dear. The only difference was one was costing you 90 grand a week and the other was costing you 35.
Yo, Baz was saying something about Pepe's interview. What was that?
Oh yeah. Pepe, look, basically, who was it? Emery, yeah. Remember he's talking about basically Fabinho, how he needed time to adjust. I think that's what he's trying to do right now. I don't think you will see Pepe for a couple of weeks now. I genuinely don't think you'll see him for a couple of weeks.
But what is he going to adjust, by the way? What is he going to adjust?
You tell me. That's what I'm saying.
What's he going to adjust? Bloody brightness on his telly. What's he going to adjust? It's Emery needs to adjust, not Pepe. It's Emery needs to adjust.
No, what he needs to do is fuck off. That's what he needs to do. He needs to get out the door, man. He ain't good enough for this club.
Yeah.
Arsenal really said we don't have the squad for healthy rotation. That's always been a problem for Arsenal. That's why we need money. You know what? Arsenal realist, right? If Arsenal's in the Champions League, I'll guarantee you they'll be playing the same team twice a week, right? This all playing somebody else in the Europa League. I don't know why they do it. These players are having one game a week and they're still shit.
Yeah, I think it definitely destabilizes the balance of the team. You're right. You're right about that, Sonny. They're not able to get themselves into any kind of rhythm or understanding. And remember, this is a new setup. That if we took out Saka was the only remnants from the Wenger era. This is basically a whole new team. From top to bottom, from number 1 to 11, they are a new team. In 18 months, we have got rid of all the trash and replaced them. And the fact that you're playing them one on a weekend in the league and then changing 10 players for the Europa League, it's not working. It's not helping the balance of this team.
You know what? For the next 10, 15 minutes, I want everyone in the comments. So let's talk about the biggest problem at the club, yeah? What the Arsenal really always tells us it is. And you know what? Big respect to him for keeping consistent. Because the biggest respect is the biggest issue is the conquest, yeah? The second biggest issue is Unai Emery. The problem is we can't do nothing about the conquest at the moment, but Unai Emery is a bigger problem because the trouble is he's the one who affects us on a day-to-day basis. The conquest only affects us in the transfer windows, right? So, basically, Anthony is saying the board need a change of mindset rather than throwing money at the club. The problem is we're not throwing money at the club. We're not. What are we throwing at the club? Where's the money?
You know what my biggest take from everything is, doesn't matter how much money you throw at the situation, if your scouts are not doing a good job, it doesn't matter what money you invest in anybody, because our scouts have not been hitting on any targets lately. Since the summer when we bought Xhaka,
you can't say that. They've just plucked Martinelli out of Brazil second division. You can't say that.
Okay.
If you look at Guendouzi
the future of the club are the players we've just scouted.
What I'm talking about is when you spend big money on guys, there's that 30 to 20 million guy that you can buy that's equivalent to that guy, but people don't really find them easily. It's been frustrating. You know what I mean? Like you try to spend money and throw the right money at the situation, but it doesn't matter how much money you throw at the situation if you're not buying players who can come straight into the squad and make a difference. You just wasted your money, realistically.
I thought it was interesting today, like watching United. How much did they pay for Wan-Bissaka? And he was completely at fault for that goal today.
50 million, yeah. But I mean, that was just
so. Is he worth
one-off.
the money or not? Is he worth the money or not?
Simon, that was
right?
that's a one-off. I mean, he consistently has good games. Defensively, he's solid. I think today that mistake, I watched the game as well. I mean, that's not going to happen like Xhaka or Mustafi making those mistakes every single week.
Every single game.
Yeah, exactly.
He was coming for a centre-back. He was coming for a centre-back.
But what I'm saying is, do you think United fans came away from that ground today saying he fucked up or not, or saying, "Oh, it's all right, he's brilliant normally"? We're reactionary, aren't we, as football fans?
Wrong for that goal, but
do you know what? On this one, I think we can all agree Sebastian is better than anyone, isn't he?
Yeah, I was going to make a comment on that too. That's a ridiculous comment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you guys think these players under a new manager?
But we're not talking about manager, man. We're talking about conkies. We're talking about the conkies, right? My biggest issue with AFTV, and I'll say it to Robbie's face, and I have done, right, and I'll stay consistent with my opinion. I think when Robbie never backed Turkish's process, I think it was disgusting.
Never what? Sorry.
Never backed Turkish's process against the conkies.
Oh, Turkish's process.
I think it was disgusting, to be honest with you.
I agree.
Right, at the end of the day, it's a platform what needs to represent the fans, and there was fans who gave up their time. Whether there's 40 of them, 50 of them, one of them, doesn't make any difference. Because they were saying things that a lot of people were scared to say, right? You could take the piss out of Heavy D as much as you want, wearing his wig and wearing his Arsenal shirt. You just bought it for the shop. But at least he was there. I wasn't there because I had work, so I could go there. But I'm not going to take a day off for fucking Conky. I'm not going to do it. Right?
I'd never take the piss out of anyone being passionate about the club, even if it's in the totally opposite way that I'd do it.
Yeah.
But it's like you're saying with the Cronkies. We got that information, didn't we, before the start of the season? And he came out with that interview with, Ornstein, whoever it was, and he chatted. And, you better get excited. Big things are happening. All this stuff. Look at the way we've dealt with this captain issue this week. We've not gone anywhere behind the scenes.
Embarrassing.
We're still going backwards there. That's humiliating. It honestly, I don't like saying I'm going to stop supporting the club, but that nearly emptied me of all the love I've got for this club this week. I thought it's absolutely humiliating.
You know what?
For a start, we let the manager pick the captain.
Unai Emery is clearly a yes man. That's the problem. Unai Emery is clearly a yes man.
Yeah.
That when Granit Xhaka refused to apologise, basically they took him over the manager. And if you don't back the manager, you might as well just get rid of him. Just get rid of him.
Well, they said, didn't they? All the other players are saying they'll go and protest. We'll get rid of fucking all of them.
Get rid of all of them. I'll get rid of. Do you know what? I'll get rid of all sides. I'll get rid of all of them. I'll drop down to the Championship, right? And I'll have players who do not think they're big enough, too big for the club.
Yeah.
Because the club is bigger than any bloody player. I'm sorry.
The thing is, the fans did nothing wrong, and all they did was threw us under the bus. Why? Because we're the least of their worries right now. They're all about protecting their players. The fans can get this one. Let's throw them under the bus. It's always good when they blame the fans. I refuse.
Right.
Joe, one guarantee. Under the Conkies, right? We're never going to ever win the league again. Forget it. Don't even bother. Don't even expect to win the league again. You've got more chance of winning the lottery. You ain't gonna happen.
I'm not sure about that. I think we could do it despite them if they got the right manager. I think we could do it regardless of whether they help us or not. It's like what Apollo was saying. Apollo was saying the same before. We've got a good squad.
Yeah, we do.
I said it after the game. Yeah, Sonny, here's one for you.
Go on.
Sonny, if Pep or Klopp was managing us, would we be challenging for the title this year?
Yeah, 100%. No, I mean
we would definitely.
We would.
Yeah.
Not with
You get the best out of
easily
the
would.
squad.
Not with the players we got.
You get the best out of
we got. No chance.
Yeah,
not with the defense. Not with the defense, 100%.
Not with the defense. Not with the midfield. I'm sorry, we ain't.
No, I think technically he
I didn't
much better.
I didn't say win the league. I said be up there challenging.
Yeah,
We'd be third.
100%.
Listen, do you guys not think we need someone? We need someone who's familiar with the Premier League's in and out, who's been around the Premier League for years to be a part of the board. Because everyone who's in the board right now has never been dealing with the Premier League. Besides,
mate, if you can run Barcelona
Yeah.
It's a bit like fucking riding a motorbike and getting on and going to Arsenal as a BMX, mate. Don't compare Barcelona to Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
If you can run Barcelona, you can run Arsenal.
No, but you know what makes me worry?
Agreed.
You know what makes me worry? What makes me worry is they stick their nose up at Lewis Dunk. They're like, we don't want to buy mediocre players, but then they pay 8 million.
Who's Lewis
But
Dunk?
then
He's
they
not
pay
good
8
enough.
million for
Come
David
on.
Luiz.
Next kid, we're going to come to your comment now in a minute. Luke, just because Lee Gunner said Lewis Dunk, don't go jump on the Lewis Dunk bandwagon. Who's Lewis Dunk, mate?
No.
He plays for Brighton for a reason. Right?
We had to
They play
get
defensive.
Upamecano. That's who we had to get. Upamecano was the one, and we just didn't want to put our hands in our pocket and pay. I mean, just
Right.
If we're not going to pay the money,
Nah,
why do we buy a Premier League?
Irfan, we're just waiting a few months to bring him in, mate. He's coming.
I really hope so.
Why do
But
we
I
buy a
mean,
Premier
we've been
League
let
proven
down so
player?
many
Well,
times.
The thing is, yeah, all of you, if we bring, who's the best defender out there right now on the market? Probably, if you were to get him, probably Koulibaly. Bring Koulibaly into this defense, I'm telling you right now, who gets spun for fun, because I think about it, there's no structure, the manager, we'll just throw him under the bus.
I said on the last fan camp, I think I said it on here, and on the fan camp. Everyone thinks I'm stupid, right? But I'm sorry, everything I'm saying is coming to like a profit, mate. Like a profit. Unfortunately, you lot are triggering a bit too late, right? So I might write the next bloody Bible or Quran or whatever, right? But anyway,
Come on, man.
basically, who's basically after what the kid just said, right? Who said the other day, even if we put Bobby Moore in our defence, we ain't going to be any better because we ain't got the structure to back these defenders.
Yeah, the midfield's not protecting the back four. You can put anybody you like in there.
But everyone was saying wait for Bellerin, Holding, and Tierney's come back. They're back.
It's not going to make a difference, guys. If you're surrendering 30 shots a game, that's your midfield. It's nothing to do with your back four. The back four cannot physically come out and stop attacks. They can defend against attacks, but stopping attacks is a different thing altogether. And if you're surrendering 30 shots a game, that's your midfield.
Yeah, no, Apollo, I think it's both.
When you look at it,
both.
wait, one
It's
second.
both.
You can look at it,
Go on, mate.
It's a defensive fault because they're so defensive, man. Like David Luiz, he's so.
Yeah.
In the midfield,
We're going to come back to that. We're going a bit off topic, right? We're going a bit off topic. A lot of people are asking, right? And I want everyone to answer in the comments now, a yes or a no, right? In the comments now. Mourinho yes or Mourinho no?
No.
Yes. Yes, if we didn't have any other choice. Otherwise, I'd take Allegri. But
I'd rather every day wipe my ass with a cactus. That's what it'd feel like. I would get no joy out of watching us beat people 5-0 every week because every time I'd glance at the sideline, it'd boil my piss. Telling you.
Well, I tell you what, guys, the shot from Mourinho is definitely increasing. I mean,
He's going to be the Arsenal manager. Apollo, 100% he's going to be the Arsenal manager.
No, I don't want Mourinho anywhere near this team, but the screams for him are definitely increasing. I don't like what I see, but
he's a
Why
serious.
don't they go to Gladbach? They see the Gladbach manager, what he's doing right now with the budget that he has and the players that he has. He's getting the best out of them. They're at the top of the league almost in the Bundesliga. Go grab him or go to Ajax. Go grab that manager and tell them to come into the Premier League.
A lot of people saying Allegri. A lot of people saying Allegri. Allegri is a very negative manager as well, you know.
I know that.
He's not a Luis Enrique.
The thing is, would you rather win games 1-0 every week or keep drawing fucking 1-1 with Wolves?
Yeah, 1-0. I'd take the 1-0 every day.
It's a no-brainer. I'll happily go back to George Graham and boring Arsenal because we were good.
Yeah, and we were enjoying the success.
No,
seriously. I used to love that hearing about that.
Arsenal was not boring.
I used to love hearing that.
Was not boring.
Boring Arsenal, the Highbury Library. I used to lap it up, just stand there and lap it up.
Arsenal in 91 was not boring. But the thing is, if Arsenal were boring and we won, I'll go for it. I just wouldn't go and watch it.
If we were direct, forget about boring. We're not even direct.
Just going back 1 minute.
Winning fixes everything, guys. Winning fixes everything.
Do you know what? If you want boring football, right? Don't go. If you're gonna go for a lap dance, don't go Spearmint Rhinos. Go to one of them backstreet lap dancing places where you get the big fat ugly bird dancing. You're still gonna get your lap dance. Is it the same thing?
I thought you were going to say go to Old Trafford to watch them.
Sonny, Even the boring Arsenal, at least they were direct. This is not football. These guys are not direct. They get the ball. They drive at the defense. That was even the boring Arsenal. They were driving at defenses trying to score. This Arsenal right now that we have, they'll be at the edge of the box. One thing will go wrong. Somehow Leno will have it in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
Can I just say one thing, kid? What you just said a minute ago?
Every time, the thing about the diamond is every time we lost the ball today, I was fretting that we were going to concede a goal. It was so bad. There's no protection there.
No, I'm sorry, but regardless of a diamond,
Apollo. You know what? Emery could play a Bay Diamond. He could play a Sapphire. He could play a Ruby. He could buy a cubic zirconia. We'll still be shit under Emery.
Yeah, exactly.
We are a cubic zirconia, mate. We are a cubic zirconia.
Can anyone explain to
me
why
say one thing,
the
though?
ball keep going back to Leno after every time we get up the pitch?
Well, that's what I'm saying to you before with the Guendouzi thing. It's a lack of confidence in this system that he's trying to make him play. Yeah. I don't think anybody's being told, go and express yourself. Yeah, I honestly don't think anybody's getting told that. But, kid, what you said a minute ago about Mourinho, do you think with Mourinho it's actually people want him in for his managerial talent, or the fact that everyone believes he won't take any shit from him? And that's what people really want.
I feel like people just want a different...
Because I think that's what a lot of people is. My mates that I've chatted to are all saying Mourinho in for one reason, is that he won't put with the shit that's going on at the minute. And he will can all of them that fire back.
You know what? If we did get Mourinho, I'll come to you next, Baz. If we did get Mourinho, I'd back him if we got him. Like I did with Emery.
Oh, same, 100%.
Like I did with Emery.
Not me.
If he's the Arsenal
Apollo, you would. If he's winning, you would.
You'll back him until he proves otherwise.
Whoa.
If
Exactly.
the board took Mourinho, yeah, what I think would happen, yeah, is this, yeah. Of course, it's hypothetical, but if they took him, yeah, what would happen, right? They'd put up with his shit for a hot while, yeah, if he's getting the results, yeah. As soon as he doesn't get the results, starts asking for centre-backs, yeah, they'd pot him. They'd throw him out the door. That's what I believe. Mate, they wouldn't put up with this guy.
He turns on the owners, he turns on the fans, and then he turns on the players. And he's done it every single team. They call it third-year syndrome. And it happens. It follows him like flies. And he will destroy our club within a couple of seasons.
Yo, this is a big club, right? This is a big club, right? Why don't we start acting like it? Go to Ajax. Tell them you're a manager. Come to our club and play in the best club in the world, the best league in the world.
1 minute. Great speech.
Sick of it, bro. How are we going? How are we saying we want Mourinho? How on earth do we want Mourinho?
Respect the kid. Great speech, just like Martin Luther King made a statement, yeah, right. But at the end of the day, why are we a great club? Have we ever done anything in Europe? Never, right? What have we done? What have we done for this to be a great club at the moment? It's not a great club. It's just
in England, we're the third best club.
It's just a club with nice decorations. That's all it is.
Yeah, the thing that makes a big club is their fan base, and based on Arsenal and our fan base and our worldwide presence in the market, that we are a big club on that aspect. But right now, we're laughable. We're absolutely laughable.
Football,
great club.
Football-wise,
Arsenal.
Yeah, football-wise, we've been irrelevant for 15 years.
Arsenal embarrassed me for years. For the last 15 years, Arsenal embarrassed me. I'm sorry, they're not a great club.
Yeah. I've been saying the same for ages. People have got to snap out of that mindset that we're still where we were in 2004, because we ain't. The only people that take Arsenal serious, seriously, kid, the only people that take Arsenal serious at the minute are Arsenal fans, because it ain't no one else that I speak to.
Yeah, that's right.
People are laughing at us.
We have to understand, right? We've had these policies and structures in place for decades. We're not going to change. And we're only sustainable and spending money, what little that we're spending, because of all these new commercial deals that we're bringing in. But at the end of the day, we need to understand that Wenger was lightning in a bottle. That doesn't happen all the time. What he did was fair enough a miracle.
Guys,
he had to revolutionize the game in order for us to be successful.
Do you know what?
How many times is that going to happen to us?
Apollo, that's a whole different debate. I'm gonna do another podcast on Monday. You're welcome to come on and bring this topic up. So are you, Simon, and anyone who wants to come on, just drop me a what's name, a tweet. We've run out of time, but I just want to say to everyone, there's 684 people in in the comments, so I really appreciate you all for watching. But you as poor as Arsenal were today, bruv, and everyone, because there's only 43 likes, and that's poor. That is poor.
Come on, guys.
You've done a Granny Jack on us, right? Let's get this channel noticed, because we're not getting no love, and we you know, love me or hate me, I give my opinion, and whoever doesn't agree with me can also give their opinion. I've got somebody coming on Monday, Johnny Buttons, right? He hasn't spoken to me in a year, right? Because we had a falling out over Wenger. But the reason he's a very passionate Arsenal fan, right? And he's totally contrary to me, and that's what I want on the channel as well. I don't want everyone to, I don't want everyone to agree. You know, it's good to have a debate. That's what this channel's about. It's about debating, but respectfully. That's what it's about.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Amen to that, brother.
I started off by
Amen to that.
disagreeing with you because I thought Emery still deserved the opportunity to see how he would play with his best players.
Do you know what? Everyone's got a different time frame. Everyone's got a different. Everyone's got a different tolerance factor. Everyone's got a different pain threshold. My pain threshold with Arsenal is not very long. You know.
Oh, I said the same, Sonny. I've give Unai more time than I'd give a potential wife to please me.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
18 months is too long, mate. It's too long. Get them gone.
So please, everyone in the comments, when this video's finished, just do me a favour, please. Just hit a like. It doesn't cost any money to hit a like, please. And give it a share as well. So we're going to end the stream. We're going to come back Monday, where we will calm down a bit. We're going to tackle the management issue, the Conky issue. And anyone who's got anything else to say, drop me a tweet, right, about anything Arsenal related, and we'll bring it up on the podcast at Sunny_Arsenal. It's it's on there anyway. Sunny_Arsenal. Thanks everyone who's watched. Thanks for the hate. Thanks for the love. Just keep watching. Thanks for Apollo. Apollo, shout out your channel, bro.
Yeah. So guys, you can follow me YouTube Arsenal 101. Yeah. Actually, the YouTube is 101 on Arsenal. Yeah. On Facebook, it's Arsenal #101. And there's about 4,000 of us on there. Come in, throw your banter around, forums live every day. And yeah, that's me, man. Don't worry about Twitter or anything. If you go to 101 on Arsenal on Facebook and on YouTube, all of the links are underneath there on the YouTube channel.
Even though you've got your own channel, bro, like I said, you're welcome to come on this one anytime you want. As far as I'm concerned, we're all family, and I like your opinions. You're very good, and Irfan as well. You as well, the kid Baz. You didn't say a lot today. I think you know.
Straight for people, in it.
I think the Arsenal. I
couldn't get my point across.
I think the Arsenal performance affected you.
Couldn't get my point across.
It's nice that I found someone who agrees with me on a lot of points as well.
I still disagree with you on a few things, man. But
just don't say about like Torreira, because you'll be finished, mate.
No comment, man. No comment. But just to say something, I've got a little channel on YouTube that I do.
I didn't know. I'll subscribe to it myself.
It's just called Gonna Talk. I'm a dinosaur when it comes to. It's just basically one really big-headed mank moaning a lot, empty sentiments. Yeah, just a load of shite, really, mate. But it makes me feel a bit about myself, so it makes it worth it.
Is that the one? Is that the one with Thierry Henry's picture in black and white?
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, Thierry.
You know what? As for Levy, whatever your name is, Pepper Red, with your disgusting comments, you've obviously got daddy issues, all of you.
Can I just say, Sonny, to Apollo, drop me a comment or something and I'll follow you back on YouTube, bro.
All right, I'm doing that now, mate. I'm doing that now.
Safe, my man.
Right, shout your channel once again, Si.
It's just called Gonna Talk. Somebody let me know that there's somebody else with it that might have had it before me. I put about 10 seconds worth of thought into the name. But yeah, it's just, I do match reviews, just general talk, answering questions, fans sending, just general chat, mate. But all of you guys, if you're on Twitter, follow me. I'll follow you back all day because you all talk a lot of sense.
Great.
I love your opinions. Irfan as well. If you follow Irfan, he's got his Twitter handle there.
Yeah.
Also the kid and Baz.
So you can,
there there any YouTube channels that you lot hidden, is there?
Yeah, actually, I was just gonna
Yeah,
say,
no.
Sonny, I've taken some inspiration from you and perhaps maybe even Lee Gunner, even though I know you don't like him as much, but I think
No,
what you guys do is great.
I love Lee Gunner. Lee Gunner's a very good friend of mine, actually.
So I'm gonna be trying to kind of start my own channel as well and kind of do what you guys do and kind of give my opinion and my take from an African context. So yeah, my channel is Le African Gooner and my Twitter handle is also Le African Gooner. I'm gonna be putting out some content soon. So subscribe and yeah, follow me on my journey.
Yeah,
I'll do that.
I like that.
I'm in. Sounds good.
I like that.
Thanks,
Sounds good, bro.
And
Respect that.
like I said, you know, it's an open forum. You're welcome to come on again whenever you want. Just drop me a message. The door's open.
Thank
you know?
you. Thank you very much.
Everyone in comments, I appreciate everyone joining in, even the ones who gave me hate. At least you're watching, so just keep doing your thing. Just keep hating. It's good. Don't worry about it. Monday, we're going to be talking about Unai Emery, Jose Mourinho, other contenders, Arsenal's young players, the Conkies. Where are Arsenal going as a club? Are we going anywhere as a club? You know,
we're on a road to nowhere.
Are we going to get top four?
What's the other one?
Are we going to even qualify for Europe? All these questions.
Hey, Sonny, will that be the day that I finally got Emery out?
Oh my God! You should already be Emery out after tonight.
Emery in?
Apollo, I'll give you one more game. I'll give you the Leicester game. I'm sure you're going to change your mind after they've beaten us about 5-0.
I'm already going 2-0 Leicester, so we'll see what happens.
I'm wrapping it up now. Thanks everyone for watching. Join us on Monday. Hopefully, Johnny will be with me on Monday and some of these guys as well. Join us on Monday for some more Arsenal debate. Take care, everyone. Love you all. Love you all, the positive people. The ones who hate me, I don't love you. But anyway, see you later. Bye.
Bless, Sonny. Nice one, bro.